Okay, so let's take a second now and review the translation step of this breaking the code. So remember, your anticodons are complementary to your mRNA codons. So your first anticodon strand or tRNA molecule should read UAC, CGG, AUG, CCA, GAU, CAA, and AUC. And these would be the anticodons on the bottom of your tRNA molecule. Take a moment and check your second tRNA strand and ensure that your complementary anticodons are correct. Let's do strand number 3. Great. So this particular step is done at the ribosome, and it's identifying the specific anticodons that bring along the amino acids. So now let's turn to page 11 in your note packet so that you have the steps of translation as a reference. We're going to do a few practice, and you can write this at the bottom of page 11. That's perfectly fine, or you can do this on a separate sheet of paper as well. However, we're going to put all of the transcription translation steps together so that you can see how you can get from a DNA strand all the way to a protein. So if the DNA molecule is TAC, TCA, ATT, and you can pause the video right now so that you could write that down at the bottom of page 11. If this is my DNA molecule, then in the process of transcription, I will create my mRNA molecule. Of course, that happens inside the nucleus. And so I'd like for you to pause the video right now and transcribe that DNA molecule on the bottom of page 11. And you can see that after transcription, what you received was AUG, of course, cutting off that codon, AGU, cutting off that codon, and UAA, leaving you with 3 codons in your mRNA molecule. Great job. So how many bases do we have? You can pause the video and answer these questions real quick. However, those are 9 bases, 3 codons. Remember that DNA codes for proteins. And in this particular example of mRNA, we're going to code for 3 amino acids. And so here comes the important section. On page 12 of your note packet, you have the codon chart that links codons with amino acids. Pause the video right now, and I want you to translate this mRNA molecule. In other words, I'm going to have to use the chart to find the anticodon AUG and write the appropriate amino acid that would come along with that codon. Pause the video here and do it for this strand. And when we follow through, we know that the tRNA that would be complementary would be UAC, UCA, AUU. Now, the important thing here, though, is that the chart that you use is referenced off of the message. The message is really where the code comes from to produce the protein. So when you look at that chart that's on page 12, utilize your mRNA in order to determine the amino acid that links. So AUG brings methionine. AGU brought along serine, and UAA is the stop codon. This example right here is exactly what you're going to be doing this evening for your homework, determining the polypeptide strand. This is a good review for you to reference back to. And we're going to do another example. So, hang on one second. So in this example, I can see that TAC, GGG, ATT is my DNA molecule. When we transcribe that into mRNA, I will end up with AUG, CCC, UAA. Now, I know that the complementary strands of tRNA that will be complementary to this mRNA is just as follows. But again, this mRNA molecule is what you will use in order to determine the code that will make the polypeptide. And so that's our protein. So AUG is start methionine, which actually we need to write that in there, right? So that would be start and methionine, which is often abbreviated as meth. Proline and stop. This is a relatively small polypeptide, but again, a very good example for your homework. So what I would like for you to do right now is I'd like for you to actually pause this video. You're going to go to Schoology and you're going to take the quiz that is based upon transcription and translation. Now, these are pretty straightforward, multiple choice as well as true and false. And so you might want to take a moment right now and review your transcription and translation notes. For one of the 10 questions, you will need your amino acid chart. So make sure that you have page 12 prepared for your quiz. Pause the video right now and take your Schoology quiz. Good luck. So once you've taken your quiz, good job, we're going to move on to breaking the code polypeptide strand. So for this particular portion, I'd really like for you to utilize the chart and also the mRNA strand that you worked on and created in the transcription step. You will use that as your guide to create your polypeptide strand for polypeptide 1, 2, 3.